Can't do my career in this pain. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking to you about something that I haven't spoken to you about before. I was writing a little thing on Instagram about it yesterday and I was like, it's really weird. I can't believe I've not spoken about this ever. It's really weird because it's such a big part of my life. But anyway, so today I'm talking to you about my wrist. It's a bit like a story time, it's a bit random, but I can't play guitar and I can't like do a makeup tutorial or anything like that, so this is kind of thought would be an appropriate video for me to do today as my wrist is kind of out of action, well my right hand is semi out of action, so I thought I'd talk about it. And if you do follow me on Instagram then you will know a little bit about what I'm going to talk about. I've been having issues with my right wrist for about 9 years really. I remember that I left school and then I suddenly had this wrist pain. I didn't know why. I've never injured it really, I've never broken it. I used to do cartwheels, I've gone to the gym for a long time. I've always had this wrist pain. I never knew what it was. Ironically, my left one is hurting now, but it's when I push it back, obviously this one, like that it hurts, and it almost feels like, you know when you have sprained your ankle or you've strained it, you've gone over on it and you kind of test it just to see like, does it still hurt? Is it okay? And you kind of like go over on it a little bit just to be like, oh no, that still hurts. That's what it's like. So it's not like hurting all the time, but it's certain tasks, and every now and then if I put any weight on it, like I can't push myself up off of it, and I didn't really know what it was. I didn't really know what was going on, why. You guys won't know because I don't talk about it, but like if you've been in my band, if you're a close friend or family member, like you will know about it because I moan about it when it hurts. But previous band members, current band members will know because I've just like always asking, especially guitarists, like what's wrong with my wrist, what can I do? I was trying to figure out what made it worse and I thought it was guitar playing that made it worse, which was a bit of a pain. I was on my laptop and then my wrist would start to ache and like my whole forearm would start to ache and my elbow, and I was like, oh no. So now editing hurts it as well. I will insert a picture. It was like 2007 to 18, 17. This popped up on my wrist, and one day I was suddenly at work when I used to work in care. And I was sat there and I was like, what is that? And I had this like lump. I mean, I've got skinny hands and wrists anyway. I had no idea. So we all had a look and it was like either a bursa or a ganglion. Right, and in the olden days the whole thing was like bash it with a Bible. It's like a pocket of like jelly like liquid that's basically in your joints and stuff, and then it just pops up to the surface. Like when you get a hernia, you know, it pops out. It's kind of a similar thing, like it popped out and it was just there. Not when I was relaxed, but when I would, you know, bend and you could see. Mum tried massaging it as hard as she could and I'd had like a glass of wine or two, so I was there slightly numbed, but still like that was agony, that was too much. I thought about bashing it. I think I had a little tap, but I just couldn't, like it was too painful. I slept with a rubber on it and then bandaged it up really tight with the pressure, but I woke up and my hand was just in agony, so I had to take it off. All these things we tried, so then I went to the doctor. They confirmed what it was and they booked me in for a steroid injection. So there's a cortisone injection. So they booked me in for this and I was a bit like, oh, I don't really want this steroid injection. I hadn't heard great things about steroids. I didn't really want to be pumping this stuff into my body, but it had to go. So I had an injection on it December 2017. They stuck the needle in and then he put anaesthetic in and then switched over the cap and like put the steroid in, and then he was like having to like move it around in there and like mashed it up and like dispersed it, which wasn't nice. The injection is like a normal injection, but actually like when he was moving it around was like this weird dull scraping ache inside, and you're just like ugh. And then like it was fine, whatever, a couple of days a little bit achy and out of action, but was fine. And then I thought I was cured. I thought my wrist was back to normal. Guess I just forgot about it. And then I did one gig. I remember this one gig I did, and I played for an hour, and then after that it came back and the pain was back and I was so sad, and I just basically learned to accept it for a year or so. So I have been self-employed. Oh my god, it has been 6 months. Wow. Full-time music for 6 months now. It got to a point where I was playing guitar more, editing more, basically all the triggers that made it bad. Busking, I'm playing for hours, and when I'm gigging, I normally do like 2 hours or something like that. I'm just basically now performing and using my wrist a lot more, and editing, like uploading twice a week. It was just getting worse and worse, and then I was noticing that day-to-day tasks were becoming difficult. Like when it was bad and it flared up, I can't put any weight on my wrist anyway, so if I'm at the gym I will use weights. If I'm doing today mountain climbers or press-ups or burpees or anything that you need to be on your hands for, I will hold weights instead of putting my hands flat down on the floor, because I can't do that. Taking off a backpack, that action, because it obviously bends it back when you're doing that. Carrying a pot if you're cooking, all that time I cook. Grating cheese, it's like cutting cheese, it's all cheese related, okay? I was having pizza once with my boyfriend and his family, and I couldn't cut pizza, so he had to cut it up for me. Picking up my busking bag, twisting, opening certain things. I don't know, just like I have a lack of strength in my wrist. It was getting worse, like, and getting bad more frequently. Sometimes I would do something like cut. It then basically like started to spasm. I get this like horrible like spasm feeling that would just go down my wrist, and it was just really horrible. I think the reason I've got pain in this wrist now is because I've got a lack of muscle, because I've been not using this one. Yes, I have been compensating with the other wrist, but I've also not been doing things like putting any weight on this wrist, because I kind of wouldn't put it on one, not the other. Sometimes I do, but yeah, it's just a whole thing. And like after playing guitar, it feels so much worse. I've tried everything. So I've looked it up, I've tried exercises, I've tried stretching before playing guitar, I've tried stretching it really past the point of like agony. Real hard, stretching it up against the wall, pushing all my body weight onto it. Those Chinese balls with a little bell in them, like an old guitarist suggested I get those, and you can like basically roll them around the palm of your hand. It's meant to strengthen and stretch like your hands. I always make sure that I stretch before I play guitar, which is something that I never did and something that I was never told to do in my old guitar lessons, so I thought that that might have been something that like resulted in all of my wrist problems. I've tried using a wristband, so wearing that at night, so not using it, resting it, not resting it, everything, like just nothing has worked. So I got to a point where I was like, right, if there's still a ganglion in there, it needs to come out. I need to get it out. I don't care if I have surgery, I don't care. I just want it gone. Like I can't do my career in this pain. So I went back to the doctor and just basically said that the pain's back and I can't live with it and it's getting in the way of my career, and he booked me in for an ultrasound guided injection. So I went last night, which was Monday, as just what you would have seen on Instagram if you saw, and yeah, I went and we were chatting about a bit about YouTube, a bit about music. Anyway, he said there's no ganglion there, but there is scar tissue on my ligament, which will be why when I push my wrist back, it'll be causing the pain, because scar tissue can be very painful. The scar tissue is from the ganglion, and it just all made sense. I was like, thank God there's something wrong with me, because you know, I just had this thought that my wrist was just hurting and there's no way to cure it, and I didn't know why it was hurting. Everything I did didn't help. Basically the injection he did, and it was just one injection, a mix of the steroid and anaesthetic in there, and I didn't watch. I was just like this. Mum was watching it on the screen. Like I would have quite liked to have watched him do it, but I just was worried that if he moved it and then it hurt, I would have like twitched, because I'm really jumpy. So I just thought it's best if I just don't. I always want to know what's going on, so I want to be able to be one of those people that can look, but I just worry that I will move or jolt and then I don't want to like mess anything up. It was over pretty quick though, didn't hurt that much at all. Like the injection felt like an injection, and I felt it when he put the stuff in. It was a bit like, oh, like that was a bit sore, but it was really quick, and he said that it would help because he could see what he was doing and where he was going. The steroid is meant to break up the scar tissue and hopefully get rid of it. So it's either going to be permanent, or it might come back in a couple months, like I don't know, but at least I know that I can just have another injection done, and then hopefully over time it will just break up that scar tissue and get rid of it. So I had that done yesterday evening, and it's cool. Like, it's still a bit stiff, like it's really weird. It kind of felt like my whole forearm, you know that feeling when you get pins and needles but before you catch it and your hand's kind of semi-numb, but you feel like you're about to get the pins and needles and you need to like shake it off to be like, oh okay. See, that hurt my other wrist, and then it felt like kind of cold in my veins for a bit, and it did feel achy, like really achy, for about half an hour or so when I was at home, and I just rested it. And anytime I moved my wrist a little bit, it kind of started to ache, so I was a bit like, oh, maybe I shouldn't move it. So I was just kind of really trying to rest it yesterday, and today I've been trying to get a bit more movement in it. I also, yesterday, and I just had it then in my finger, weirdly enough, keep getting this like weird, like when I moved my thumb, I was like getting this weird shooting pain like all down the side of it, which was really weird. And also, I was so thirsty last night. So thirsty, like I drank like 2 of these before I went to bed. Well, like in the evening. It was insane, but it felt like someone had pumped like hard jelly into my whole forearm. But after I'd been, it was really weird. It was like stiff and heavy. Almost didn't feel like my arm. It was really strange. And everything just felt a bit tight. When I was moving my fingers, just felt like there was something stopping it almost. And also they said that you can skip a period with the steroid injections. And to be honest with you, I'm going on holiday next month. So I could do with that, actually. So, body, if you're listening to the steroids, help a girl out. I just have to accept that things are going to feel a bit strange for the next couple of days, and that's okay. Have a good feeling that it's going to be okay. I'm just trying to move it, keep it moving a little bit, but not do too much. But that's the point of entry. And then here is where it's slightly bruised. I'm just trying not to push my luck with it. But he did say that I can play guitar again in a couple of days, which is good because I'm going to go busking on Thursday. So I just thought I would talk to you about it because I realised as I was writing my Instagram post that I have never spoken to you about my wrist before. For so long, it's been such a big part of my life, and I just can't believe I have not spoken to you about it. If you guys have ever seen me busking or seen me live, I try to cover it up quite a lot, but if you ever see me like suddenly I'm like doing this with my wrists, it's because it is hurting. So yeah, I guess actually sometimes when I play guitar it does hurt. Oh, I don't know, it just hurts, it's just a pain. So I just wanted to tell you about that. Has anyone else got any experiences with ganglions or steroid injections or anything like that? Let me know in the comments down below. So I thought I'd give you a little insight into my life because I can't really physically film anything else, so I might as well tell you why. I was one of those kids that used to like be flinging around down the field doing like 5 cartwheels in a row. Handstands. I used to do one-handed cartwheels on this wrist. Maybe that's what it was. Oh, it's hurting a bit now. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already and hit that notification bell on because I upload twice a week and you don't want to miss out on an upload. Please give this video a like if you liked it and would like to see more videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Wow, ignore my lipstick in this whole video. It's vile. Oh yeah, I'm Hannah Dorman, I talk about makeup on my channel. Can't even put lipstick on. Oh.